love lives here.
So we here at Centers for Spiritual Living this year are working with the theme of evolutionary vision, the timeless wisdom, evolutionary vision. And this month we've been working with the theme of breathe in the view. As we get a higher perspective, we are able to see a greater perspective, and we are able to see things as they truly are, see them from a place of truth, and see them from that place, and then give thanks and be appreciative of them. And when we do that with gratitude, we are magnifying. When we do that with thanksgiving, we are magnifying, amplifying that energy that already is, that causative energy that we've been talking about this month. Yes? Good. So, I didn't even wait for you to say yes. Let's try that again. Yes? Good. Okay. There, I allowed you to participate there. So, today we are talking about thanks living. Because what we know is that we know that Thanksgiving is not just a day, the fourth Thursday in November, or if we're Canadian, the second Monday in October. We know that it goes beyond so much more than that, and that the history of the holiday that we celebrate definitely has its problematic history, its problematic origins. And yet what we understand is that there is this intention behind it. There is a spiritual intention behind it that is about giving thanks, about expressing gratitude. And that is something that we can definitely celebrate. But it is not just a cause for celebration one day out of the year. It is a cause for celebration every minute of every day. Yes? Right? It's Thanksgiving, because when we look at living from an attitude of gratitude, when we look at being able to see things and give thanks for them and be in the presence of them and be in the presence of one another and give thanks for one another, we begin to amplify those things. We begin to amplify that sense of gratitude, that felt sense of gratitude, that then continues to amplify that causative energy that is back of all things. What we are inviting ourselves to do when we practice living in gratitude, when we practice living thanks, is we are bringing our attention, our awareness, our consciousness, we are bringing our attention to the source and substance of all that there is, of all of life, of all of creation. It is a constant reminder to bring ourselves back, to return ourselves, to return our thoughts to spirit, to the divine, to God, to the universe, to the ever-abundant, ever-present, loving presence that lives, moves, breathes, and has its being in, through, and as all of life, all of creation, as each one of us. We have the opportunity to sit in awe and wonder and magnificence and see the beauty that we talked about earlier this month. See the beauty of the divine showing up all around us. We know, we affirm that spirit, that God, that the divine is all that there is. There is no thing else other than this one life. And we have this beautiful opportunity then, not just on the one day, but every day of the year, to focus our energy on that, to focus our minds on that, to focus our consciousness on that. And what we know, right, is that what we set our intention and attention on does what? It expands, right? So last week we packed all of the Mana Project bags and all of the food, and we distributed all of those Mana Project bags. So the Mana Project, for those of you who may not know, here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, it's a long-standing tradition where we, the community, come together and we support our neighbors and our beloveds who may not otherwise be able to celebrate Thanksgiving this year for whatever reason. And so We collect the turkeys, we collect everything that is needed to create and to make a Thanksgiving dinner. And then we provide that. We share our bounty, we share our love, we share our Thanksgiving with these beloveds who might not have had Thanksgiving this year otherwise. So, this is a story really of this morning of manna, right? Manna from heaven. The metaphysical interpretation of manna is let me get it right for you here. All right, sorry. It represents the realization that of the divine substance that is everywhere present. Does that make sense? It represents the divine substance that is everywhere present, right? And so it's aptly named that we've been calling this the Manna Project for years and years, because it's just a demonstration of what we already know, that infinite source, infinite supply, infinite substance is ever present. And we are merely custodians of it, and we share it. It moves through us, and we share it widely, yes? So this year, when Trish and I were working on it, we were like, okay, so we're probably going to have about 10 to 15 families this year. Sure enough, 15 families. So Trisha was out there. She was asking, everybody to donate and bring in. And people kept bringing. People kept plugging into that substance and that supply, and people kept bringing. And so after all was said and done on last Sunday, we shared love with 17 families as of last Sunday. And then we opened the freezer and the freezer that's downstairs in our office, and we found 4 more turkeys and had a lot more canned goods and stuffing and potatoes on the counter after feeding all these folks. It was like loaves and fishes, right? The story there goes that it is that Jesus, the master teacher, took the loaves and fishes, gave thanks first, looked up first, right? So what are we doing? We're getting a higher perspective, right? Looked up, gave thanks, not for things, but from a place of understanding the oneness, the infinite supply, of understanding the oneness of all life, the interconnectedness of all life, giving thanks from that place of recognition, and then blessing the food, and then it multiplied, right? Don't know how it multiplied, but it multiplied. This was just like this last week for us. Manna, substance from heaven. Substance from heaven is being within all of us. That substance that is present here within all of us, bringing forth food, bringing forth abundance for these families, and then watching it multiply through gratitude, through looking at it and seeing rightly and multiplying it through gratitude. So that was Sunday, right? On Tuesday, Jabel's coming into the office because we were talking about the Christmas trees that we're helping to support too, right? And I had her on my Dick Tracy phone here, and Trisha and I were sitting in the office and having a discussion and just looking and being grateful for the bounty. And Jabel says, oh, well, there was this one group that really wanted a tree, and so we're supporting them as well. It's Sylvia. This woman named Sylvia, and Trisha's like, wait. Sylvia? And she goes, give me her number right now and her email address right now. Come to find out, I love how Spirit works, right? Come to find out, we've been supporting Sylvia's Serenity Homes for years, and we had lost contact with this beloved. And Sylvia's Serenity Homes, as a woman, Sylvia, and her husband Anthony purchased a couple of homes in the next door to each other in a part of Riverside. And what Sylvia's Homes does is it provides a safe place for women, specifically single mothers, escaping domestic violence with their children. It gives them a safe place to go with their children, or if their children have been removed by Child Protective Services, it gives them a safe and stable place for the children to be able to be reunited with them. There are 17 single moms living in Sylvia's Serenity Homes, and there are 19 children living in the homes as well. And so what happened that day? The 4 turkeys and everything else went there, right? So not only did we serve 17 families, we served an additional 17 single mothers and 19 children, right? But wait. Trisha's getting ready to leave that day, and Steve, who lives across the street from us, our neighbor who lives across the street, and he's helped us out on the property here recently. We had some vandalism, and he helped repair some things. Trisha's getting ready to leave, and there's the ding dong on our ring doorbell, and she goes to answer the doorbell, and there's this woman and her husband standing there, and the woman comes up and Trisha's like, "Yes, can I help you?" And she goes, "Hi, I'm Steve's sister. The toilet's backed up at Steve's house. Can we please use your bathroom?" Right? That part's not as important, but you have to know that they came across the street, right? And so as they're getting ready to leave, they asked Trisha, is our community still serving food? And Trisha goes, "Oh no, honey, that's done. But I have 1 bag left in my car." And so 1 more family got supported through the Mana Project. You can't make this stuff up, people, right? But yet what we know is that this is principle in action. This is spirit in action. This is exactly what it is that we teach. This is exactly what it is that we believe. This is exactly what it is that we have faith in, that we know to be the truth. That when we open our hearts and when we come from this place of gratitude, this place of love, and just recognize that abundance is absolutely everywhere, that spirit is everywhere, that substance, source, supply is absolutely everywhere, and we bring our attention and our awareness to that, it then is directed through us, through the flow. We participate in the flow of life, the flow of love, and we are able to give generously and abundantly, and we are able to share. And yes, these families had a beautiful Thanksgiving, perhaps, and yet there's also the beauty of being able to bear witness. Not looking for pats on the back. That's not why any of us do what we do. We do this not for the glory or not for the thanks that we may receive. We do it because this is who we are. This is how we're called to show up. This is what we are called to share with the world. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. This is the transformative power of love. It's one way of the transformative power of love working to the benefit of our larger community. Working to the benefit of allowing people an opportunity to live a little bit more fully into their potential, even if it's just for 1 day or 1 week. So Sylvia Serenity Homes. Moving forward, we are once again partnering with this beloved community. And The children are getting Christmas presents this year, but the moms haven't received anything. Many of them are have escaped with nothing but the clothes on their backs, right? And so Trisha will be in the lobby after service this morning with little sheets of paper, shopping lists similar to Mana Project, for these beloved mothers of these beautiful children, so that we can help support them so that they too can get the items that they need to be able to live with a little bit more dignity and really share the love with them and know that they too are loved. Because I know there are many women here who are single mothers or who were single mothers at one point in time. And I know that they would do absolutely anything for their kids, putting their kids' needs above their own. And these women at Sylvia Serenity Homes are doing the same. And so what a beautiful opportunity it is for us to support them so that they can support and love their families. So she'll be out in the lobby immediately following service, and then we will bring all of those things back on December 12th. And also on December 12th, we're going to have a wrapping party. And so we will wrap all of the gifts that we are providing to Sylvia's Serenity Homes for the children as well. So that's something else that we've been able to do. So I wanted to share that with you because this is Thanksgiving. This is moving it forward. This is tapping into and being aware of the presence of source, the presence of substance, the presence of love, and moving it and sharing it and moving love forward, as we say. Yeah? So sometimes I remember back in like the late 1990s, God, a long time ago now. Shouldn't be, feels like yesterday, but when I say that and realize it's more than 20 years ago, it's kind of crazy. But I was a flight attendant at the time with Northwest Airlines, and one of the Thanksgivings, I was in Madison, Wisconsin on a layover, and the only place open was a Chinese restaurant. So Thanksgiving dinner that day was Chinese restaurant. And Oprah Winfrey was on, and she had Sarah Von Brannock on that particular day, and they were talking about a gratitude journal and keeping a gratitude journal and how important that was. And something about that really touched me that day. And I began immediately. And so for about 3 or 4 years, I kept a gratitude journal. And then it kind of fell away. But yet, what I realized, what was happening, is that, especially as I was doing it, I was shifting my focus. I was looking for things to be grateful for every moment of every day rather than things to complain about. Now, there's still a lot of complaining going on. There can still be a lot of complaining going on. But there was this shift in attitude and the shift toward gratitude. And what I noticed is at every time there was something more and more to be grateful for. And then the further along I got, as I was doing this practice, and what I'm inviting us to do today, there would be some times when I would be like, oh man, Sarah Von Brannock said to do 3. Well, I'm an overachiever. I need to do at least 10, And then I'd be like, I can't get to 10 today. I can't get to 10. I can't get to 10. And then all of a sudden, something clicked. I was like, 10, nothing. 10 in a blink of an eye. Because what happened is there was this living into the gratitude, and this living it expanded my awareness of all of the possible things that I could say thanks for, that I could give thanks for, that I could express gratitude for. And so I invite you to think about that and do this today and this week and moving forward. I know that it's been transformative for me. So sometimes when I think about something, I think of everything that's gone into that thing and give thanks for everything there. So let's just take Thursday dinner, shall we? Let's just play with that as an example. Okay, Thursday dinner. So I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the food that we have. I'm thankful for my table. I'm thankful for the home that I live in. I'm thankful for my spouse. I am thankful for each and every item of food that is on our table. And you know what? I'm also thankful for the store that it came from and the people that work in the store that it came from. And I'm thankful for the people that wrapped it or canned it or packaged it or did whatever they did to get it to market. I'm thankful for the people that delivered it to the store. I'm thankful for the money in the wallet to be able to pay for it. I'm thankful for the people that thought way back of some kind of exchange of currency, that was even a thought. I'm thankful for the farmers that grew the food. I'm thankful for the soil that it was grown in. I'm thankful for the sunlight that went into it. I'm thankful for the water that went into it. I'm thankful for the fertilizer. I'm thankful for the people that tilled the soil, that created the fertilizer. I'm thankful for the animals that created the fertilizer. I'm thankful. And you see how it just keeps going and keeps multiplying. It becomes this exponential thing. That must have been at least 50, if not close to 100 at this point, in a blink of an eye. And you can do it with anything. You can absolutely do it with anything. And continue to expand out. And all of a sudden, we experience more and more and more and more to be grateful for. And that experience of the being grateful for things or being grateful for people is really just a primer, is really just a tool, it's a vehicle that we can use to then really tap into, I'm grateful. Not needing to be grateful for anything, but just that place of gratitude, that place of love, that place of bliss, that place of, it's a place of faith. It's a place of trust. It's a place of knowing that I know that I know that I am ever supplied, that I am ever taken care of, that I am the beloved in whom spirit, the divine, is well pleased, that nothing could ever be withheld from me, that there is nothing to fear, that when I'm one and aware of my oneness, when I'm in gratitude, life is good. Life expands. All the good I could ever want, all the good I could ever need has already been given. And so it's this practice of gratitude. It is thanks living thanks that brings us into this awareness. And so I want to take a moment right now to thank our beloveds who have been in service to this community for all of 2021, who have helped us to be here, to be present together with one another. Because remember, I always say it, that this is a community. We do this together. We don't do this on our own. This is a community. And it really does take a community to come together and to be with one another for all of these experiences that we have as community to happen. And so the folks I would like to thank today are leaders of our spirit groups, members of our welcome team, our production team, our hospitality team, buildings and grounds team, our core council, our finance committee, our practitioners, and our outreach team. And so as I call your name, I invite you to please come forward right down here. I'm going to move Michelle. I'm moving now. Michelle's following me with the camera. We had to talk about this earlier. So I'm going to invite you to come to me, because if I move, then she's got to move the camera. So I invite you to come forward as I call your name. This is just a small token of our appreciation here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. So Allison Berry, Shawnee Beeman, Earl Bogan, Reverend Victoria Bomberry, she's in Concord, California, Frank Conley, Trisha Cowan. Thank you. Everybody's getting their steps in today, Allison. Frances Drake, she's in LA with her son. Ken Ennison. Frank's gone to get him. I'll just tuck that there. Pat Fromer. Oh, there's Ken. Pat's at home. Sunny Gale. Ken, here you are, my friend. Thank you, Ken. Michelle Geyer. Manny Gomez. Neil Hayner. I can't move. All right, there we go. Amber Holland. James Jones. James might be out there with our hospitality there. There's Neil, Amber. Okay, I'm sure somebody's getting James. Jeannie Kataoka. Mike Kataoka. There you are, Jeannie. Thank you. Mike. James Jones. Cindy Lambert. Thank you, James. Cindy. Laura Lopez. I know she's here. There she is. Sarah McGrath. Max Myrick. There you are. Thank you, love. Anita Nace. Jabel Obian. Ray Owens. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Naima Powell. Chester Ralston, Tamara Ralston. Jeffrey Rika. You're welcome. Leslie Rockstad. Ed Ryan. Matt Steelman. Here comes Matt. Constance Stringfellow. Thank you. Thank you. Dinah Williams. Jared Williams. Jocelyn Williams. And Stuart Williams. Here we are. So I invite our practitioners to please stand and surround the sanctuary, and I invite our guest practitioners to go ahead and please stand and surround the sanctuary as well, because I know you're sitting there. I see you. For those of you who may remember, this is Christine Page and her wife, Merlon Hart. And I invite our core council members to also please stand and surround the sanctuary as well and join them. Christine did her practitioner training here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living and then promptly moved to Las Vegas, where Ed and I and Neil all met her in Las Vegas, and she just completed serving as president of their leadership council. And Merlon is on the leadership council now as well. And you may know Merlon's sister, Renee Hart. Yes, all right. So there you are. All right. So let's just come together in consciousness, shall we? I recognize that right here and right now, there simply is this one life, this one power, this one presence, this one love that is all through all as all, that lives, moves, breathes, and has its being as the entire universe. The universe is the manifest body of this one life, the manifest body of this one love. And as such, there is no other, there is no separation. There is simply just this one forever and ever expressing this one substance, this one source, forever and ever expressing itself beautifully, magnificently, perfectly, wholly, and completely as love, peace, joy, abundance, prosperity. And I recognize that I am one with this one, for there is no other that I could be. I am inseparable from it because there is just this one. And as I know that I am inseparable from it, as I know that I am that I am one with it, that I am it, that it is the very essence and nature of my being, it is the totality of the who of who I am, I recognize it and I open myself to that and bring myself into conscious awareness of that through an attitude of gratitude, through thanksgiving. And so I give thanks for it. I give thanks for this awareness. I give thanks for this power and this presence that I am so aware of that lives me. I live this thanks. And as I know that this is true of me, I know that this is true of everyone present here this day, that each one is a divine emanation and impartation of this one life. Each one is the living, breathing spirit, living, breathing divine, making itself known, individualized as each and every one. Yet there is just this one. So there is a unity present here and always. And so I speak my word for this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. I give thanks. I give living thanks for this community, for the way that we come together, the way that we gather together in love, in light, in service to one another, in service to the greater community of Riverside and beyond. I give thanks that we have said yes to the call upon our lives, to the call upon our center, to embolden people to live their highest potential through this transformative power of love, that we have said yes to this higher calling on our center to be a leader in a community, to be an example of what it looks like when Centers for Spiritual Living leads a city, that when we get out and we move love forward, I give thanks for how we go about doing this. I give thanks for the sacred yes, for being the vehicles, and for trusting and knowing that it just happens, that it is through our hands, through our bodies, through our feet, that this happens. That we are the vessels through which Spirit makes itself known. We are the vessels through which the gift is given, the gift is expressed. I simply give thanks for all of it in recognition that this thanks amplifies and multiplies and magnifies our oneness with the one, our realization of our oneness and our knowingness that we know that we know that we know that Spirit is all that there is. And we trust it. We have faith in it. We have faith and know that love is, God is, Spirit is. And in that knowing, there could be nothing else. All needs are met. All needs are taken care of. We know before we even ask, it is given. And so we relax into this. We rest into this, trusting and knowing and being. And so with great gratitude for all of life, for all of creation, for the ways that we show up in this community, I simply release this word now, knowing that it is fulfilled, that we are a blessing and a benediction. I simply let it be with grace and gratitude. And so it is.
Love.